Hey Insiders, Barbara here. We heard your feedback loud and clear on my live streaming updates video that you wanted to hear more about notifications. We thought it was better to get a video out sooner rather than later. I'm in one office, the notifications team is in a different office. We still filmed a video today with their lead product manager, David. It's a little jank, I'll admit that, but all of the information is there. We've answered questions from Twitter in the comments on the video, so here it is. Hello, Insiders. Barbara here. We wanted to have some real talk with you. So we posted a video last week where we were very, very excited about all of some live launches and some updates around live streaming that we rolled out the door. And unfortunately, it seems like we touched on a subject that we have not done a really great job of explaining in the past. That's notifications. Now, we view this channel as a conversation between us and all of you creators, and you spoke up, and we heard you. We heard all of you. Okay, and I do want to start off right off the bat by saying we did not mean to conflate what happens with your sub feed and what happens with subscriber notifications in the video that we posted last week. Yeah, and also wanted just to say, this is our informal channel. We have links to the official documentation on notifications. They will be down in the descriptions below. And so I have somebody here with me today who wants to sort of help talk about the subject of notifications. So with that said, I'd like to introduce you to David.
Hey everyone, I'm David. I'm a product manager at YouTube, and our team works on notifications. And as Barbara said, after the last video, we saw that there were a lot of questions from YouTubers about how notifications work, a lot of really, really good suggestions about how we could improve our notifications for your subscribers. So I wanted to come on here with Barbara and address some of those questions. And just a little bit of background about myself. I've been at YouTube for several years now, and
when did you start? When did you start here?
2011. And so I'm familiar with a lot of the history around the sub box, which has not always been the favorite, most trusted feature amongst the community. So I know that there's a lot of work that we've had to do over the years, including today, to continue to improve that feature as well as notifications. So I really understand why creators pay so much attention to the views and the traffic that they're getting from subscriptions and notifications, because we know that that's how your biggest fans and your biggest supporters access your content immediately after you upload it. And those early views and that early engagement with those new videos really, really matters. And we know that the features that we build, like subscriptions and notifications, are really important for getting your new videos on the right track.
Okay, so let's just start right off the bat by clarifying what we mean when we talk about notifications, when we talked about notifications in that video. Let's break that down.
So when we talk about notifications, we mean the push notifications that we send to iOS and Android phones, the emails that we'll send people, as well as the inbox that we have for those notifications within the YouTube app. We are not referring to the subscriptions feed. The subscriptions feed will have the new uploads from all the channels that you're subscribed to, and the bell setting, whether a subscriber is turned on the bell or not, does not affect the subscriptions feed in any way.
So bell is only for push notifications, email notifications, and notifications in the YouTube inbox.
That's right, and it does not affect the subscriptions feed or the home feed at all.
Okay, and what we're talking about here today is purely those notifications.
That's right.
How do notifications work?
We first launched mobile notifications for subscriptions about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it has never been the case that we send all notifications for all subscriptions by default. So we actually haven't changed the defaults here at all. Yeah. Everything has been the same since we originally created the feature. Yeah, so what happens when someone hits the subscribe button is that we'll show the bell to them next to the subscribe button. And if they tap that bell to turn on notifications from your channel, then at that point, we will notify that subscriber about every new upload, every new live stream from the channel. If they do not tap the bell, then we'll occasionally send them notifications from that channel. If you're in that state where we're sending you occasional notifications from that channel, we'll try to find the channels that subscriber likes and watches the most, so that we send them the most relevant notifications.
Okay, so that basically covers so the gist of what we covered last week. But I guess what I would say is, I'm a creator. And I am trying to grow my channel. I am producing content every single week. I want to make sure that everybody who is subscribed to my channel is getting all of these notifications. So why wouldn't you, and I saw this question a ton on Twitter and in the comments of the video, why are you not sending notifications to all of my subscribers?
Yeah, it's a really, really good question. And I actually saw a YouTuber who commented on our video, Maximus, who said, "I am genuinely curious. How is not notifying all subscribers good for YouTube?
Yeah.
I mean, more notifications equals more views, equals more ad revenue, equals more money made for YouTube." And so that's why intuitively it seems to everyone that we should just be sending as many notifications as possible to everybody's subscribers. So I definitely acknowledge that that makes a lot of sense. And just to back up a little bit and give some history about the subscription notification features. So YouTube subscriptions have been around for over 10 years now, right? It's a very old feature. It's been around for ages, but we actually didn't launch mobile push notifications for subscriptions until about 3 years ago. So in the history of the YouTube platform, it's actually a relatively young feature. And so during that time, we've done a lot of different tests to figure out what's the right way to optimize the views for creators using these features. And so to the question, what we need to balance against the short-term benefits of getting more views for everyone and more views for YouTube overall, as you say, is that if we just send too many notifications to every single subscriber, what we see is that a lot of them will turn off all notifications for the YouTube app in their iPhone and their Android phone.
Really?
Yep. And so when you turn off all notifications in the YouTube app, you're turning off all notifications for all creators. And that's really bad for everybody. And so that's the other thing that we need to balance is, so we need to make sure that we're doing this sustainably so that in the long run, we're doing the best thing for the creator ecosystem and not overwhelming our users with too many notifications so that they turn them all off.
And what are the cases where somebody would be getting too many of these notifications?
Yeah, so we ran a few long-running experiments actually where by default, when you would subscribe to a channel, we would have the bell on.
Wait, hold up. You're saying, okay, wait. So we have run an experiment where we do kind of what we saw on Twitter was what people were asking us for.
Yeah, so we ran an experiment doing that over a long period of time.
Okay.
And what we saw is that if we turn on the bell for all new subscriptions, in the short term, we see all these things that you would expect. We see more people coming to YouTube and watching videos. But in the long term, we saw a few things happen. So one, we saw a lot more people unsubscribing from creators because they didn't necessarily want notifications on for every single channel that they subscribe to. But then the other thing as well that we saw is that over time, more of them were turning off all notifications for the YouTube app, which of course is then turning off all notifications for all creators. So based on the data, we saw that in the long run, it would be best to ensure that we're only sending mobile notifications for the subscriptions that subscribers really actually want to receive them for. And for the other subscriptions that are not quite as important to them, they won't always get notifications from those channels.
So we actually ran an experiment. Can you talk about how long we ran that for?
This was over the course of several months.
Okay.
And what we saw is a steady trend of just more and more users who were getting a lot of notifications, turning off all YouTube notifications in iOS and Android, which is again turning off all notifications for all creators.
So it's more like in that case. So one channel or a small set of channels, if they happen to be churning out a lot of notifications, it really hurts the whole creator ecosystem.
And frankly, what we see is that some of the channels that upload a high volume of videos, and a lot of those channels are media companies, news channels, TV shows, upload many videos per day. So
I think for me, the thing is, I would actually much rather prefer, because my channel's optimizing, I'm trying to optimize for subs growth right now. Yeah. I would much rather, I feel like, I would much rather keep the subscribers on my channel and have fewer notifications go out than send out notifications to all of my subscribers and have them start unsubscribe, have the ones who don't want as many unsubscribe to my channel. Yeah,
that makes sense. And I do want to highlight one piece of feedback that I saw from a YouTuber, which is a very good question, is that, so even if by default we don't turn on the bell for subscriptions, we could still do a much better job of explaining to new subscribers what we're doing.
I actually find the bell super confusing. When I subscribe to a channel, it's kind of unclear that I have to take an extra step to get a notification. The icon, not sure if it means I have bell on or off. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And I saw a lot of YouTubers who had really good suggestions here. Like I saw Dave Trippin on Twitter suggest that, how about after when someone subscribes, we show a pop-up that tells them what their settings are and makes it really easy for them to turn on all notifications, to turn on the bell. And so that's a really good suggestion, and it's an experiment that our team wants to try and to see if that's helpful in getting more people to turn on notifications, and also improving understanding of whether you're in the occasional or the all for a subscription.
Okay, so are we starting an experiment on that?
Well, based on this feedback, we're going to start working on it, and we'll let you guys know if we have good results there. But I do want to highlight that we actually have had a couple very positive similar feature launches to that over the past few months.
Okay, let's talk about those.
Yeah, so earlier I talked about how a big problem is when people turn off all notifications for the YouTube app in iOS and Android, then they're turning off notifications for all creators, all subscriptions. And actually something that we see is a lot of the subscribers who will complain about how they're not getting notifications from their subscriptions. Many of those subscribers actually had all notifications off for the YouTube app, and they didn't realize it. And that was really our fault for not being clear in the YouTube app that that's the reason why they weren't getting any notifications. So we did a couple things that really helped that. So in December, we launched a change where if you have all notifications off for the YouTube app, we'll show the bell on every single channel, every single watch page in the off state. And then when you click the bell, we'll deep link people back to the Android or iOS push notification settings where they can turn them back on easily. And that significantly increased the number of people who turned notifications on for the YouTube app. Millions of people as a result of that launch. And it really helped reduce some of this feedback and confusion about why people weren't getting any notifications. And then a second thing that we just launched last week actually is very similar to Dave Trippin's suggestion. Is so when you subscribe to a channel and you have all notifications off for the YouTube app, we now show a pop-up that says that you need to turn on notifications for the YouTube app to get notifications from the subscription. And then that links them to the settings where they can turn notifications for the YouTube app back on. That also really significantly increased the number of subscribers turning notifications on for the YouTube app. So we've made a lot of progress with that, that case over the past few months. And I think that we need to bring some of those learnings from those experiments to just the normal case of subscribing and try out some of those approaches there as well.
Okay, so I have my notification squad, and so I can tell on my videos when I upload them, sometimes things take a little bit longer than I might expect.
Yeah.
Would you like to comment on that one?
Yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody that everything is perfect all the time with our notifications speed and reliability. Because the reality is that the majority of the time, we will send out notifications to the majority of your subscribers in just a few seconds. So most of the time, everything works very well, except when it doesn't. And you guys know this, that there are every several weeks, we might have an issue, and I can talk about why that's the case. So our notifications ecosystem, the number of subscribers who are receiving notifications and opening them is just growing. So because of that, sometimes our system gets backlogged because we have to send out so many notifications to all of your subscribers at exactly the same time. And in particular, during the course of kind of peak times of day, like 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m.
As examples here.
All creators are uploading their videos at exactly the same time. And we get very, very, very big spikes in how many notifications we need to send out at the exact same time.
And we have a really great photo that we're going to stick in here to show you sort of exactly what happens in terms of, we've got time down here and the amount of notifications that we're sending out. And
again, most of the time that's fine and we can handle the traffic. But periodically when we get backlogged, that's when you hear from us that, hey, notifications, instead of taking a few seconds to get to your subscribers, they're delayed by a couple of hours. For example, we're making a lot of engineering investments to keep up with the pace of growth of YouTubers and their subscriber base. So we really don't think that it's okay for this to ever happen. And that's our focus, is ensuring that this does not happen. And something that I would recommend that folks do is follow the team YouTube Twitter handle, because they will give updates about when we have these backlogs and when we have these issues. And the thing that is kind of most challenging that I see when we have delays like this is that YouTubers will be asking, hey, should I not be uploading now? Because if there are delays, then maybe I should wait for a few hours, or I should wait till tomorrow until things are working correctly to upload my videos.
Yeah, okay, so what would you say to that?
Yeah, I would say to that if you're concerned about that, you should definitely follow the Team YouTube Twitter handle, where they'll give updates about when these issues are resolved, so that you don't have to worry about it anymore. But we take it very, very seriously when we have these issues, and we try to communicate when the issues start and also when they end, so that you know that your new upload won't have these delays. If you say something to Team YouTube about how notifications are broken or not working, I will hear about it very quickly.
Okay, and that's good, because that means that you're immediately notified, and you work with the engineers, and so you just start like figuring out what actually is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. every now and then I do have some of my subscribers say, yo, I did not get your notification, and they show up late to my live streams. What are some of the cases here?
Yeah, so we talked about one major one earlier, which is that a lot of people have all notifications off for the YouTube app on iOS or Android. So that's one big category. Another one is frankly, as you guys have pointed out, there's some subscribers who are in the occasional state for notifications and don't understand that they don't have the bell on. And so you guys are absolutely right that that's something we need to improve so that it's very, very clear to subscribers whether they have all notifications on or they don't. But going beyond those top two issues, another case that we see a lot is for people who have multiple accounts. We don't send notifications across like multiple accounts for a user. So
wait. Yeah, what do you mean there?
Yeah, so that means that if you have your creator channel account, Barbara, and you're signed into that on your iPhone,
yep.
And then you have another account that is your kind of like viewer account, and you have both of them logged in on the same iPhone, we will only send you notifications for the account that you're currently logged into and actively using.
Okay.
And so we see some feedback for people who expect to receive notifications for both accounts at the same time.
All right, so I have viewers who have told me they want to see all of my notifications, and I am going to start asking them to hit that bell, tick that bell on that channel when you subscribe. But if I do that, I want to see in YTA, I want to see somewhere, how do I tell how many people have ticked the bell?
Yeah, so this is an area that our team is doing some work to get the number of people who turn on the bell and turn off the bell into YouTube Analytics in the same way that you can see who is subscribing and unsubscribing.
Yep.
And we agree that that number is very, very helpful to creators because, as you said, number one, if you tell people to turn on the bell in your video, you want to be able to say, are they actually turning on the bell? Or are you just saying this in your video and not getting any results? So that's something that is really important that we're going to work on adding to YouTube Analytics. But the other reason why that data will be helpful is you can see if, for example, maybe one day you decide to upload a lot of videos all at once on the same day, then being able to see how many people are turning off the bell might help you know what's the kind of tolerance level from your subscribers to how many videos or live streams you do at once, and see if that's driving people to turn off the bell. So that's why we think that that's a really important number for creators to be able to see in YouTube Analytics, and we're working on it.
I think it's also helpful for me to get more of an expectation for, you know, trying to understand when I upload a video and within the first 24 hours, these many people see it. It's kind of a better proxy for me to understand, well, hey, this many people has actually ticked the bell. And so like this kind of like better meets my expectations there versus in total how many people have subscribed to my channel who might not be notified because they're, you know, maybe they don't want to less interest in seeing my content.
Yeah, so right now in YouTube Analytics, if you look at traffic sources, you can see notifications and subscriptions are split out separately.
Yep. Okay.
So if you do want to see something now, you can look in your YouTube Analytics traffic sources, and as you said, notifications views are usually front-loaded, right?
Yeah.
Because you upload a new video and we send the notifications, and most people open them very, very quickly. So you're usually going to see for the first 1 to 2 days after you upload a video, the notifications can be a pretty high percent of traffic for the video. But then after that, the other traffic sources start to take over more.
That's when the algorithm ticks in and we start getting those views.
Yeah.
We hope that we have answered all of your questions because like I said, we saw your questions on Twitter. We saw all of the questions that you dropped in the comments of my previous video. If you still have outstanding questions, please do drop them into the comments below. David and I will be there when we upload this video, and we will be answering as many questions as we can get to. So, hope you enjoy this. Please hit that subscribe button if you have dug this video and you want to see more content, more behind the scenes content from our Creator Insider channel.
And please also turn on the bell so that we can send you mobile notifications so that you don't miss any of our new videos.
Yes. See you in the next video.